Okay, so now in this video we are going to create Apple logo reveal animation, and for that I have this Apple PNG file, and this time we are going to use Adobe Illustrator. So first of all you need to do is simply go to the file, new options, and I would suggest you to create, sorry, go something for size. I'm going to choose 1920 and height I'm going to choose 180 pixels, and make sure that you are in RGB mode and simply hit create. Okay, so I have already created this file and I'm going to save this file. Then I have this PNG logo. I'm simply going to drag and drop in Illustrator. Then let's zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to select this and press E, which is a shortcut key for transform tool, and by holding shift I'm going to adjust the scale, and then I'm going to adjust it somewhere around over here. So let's hit Control 0 and bring this over here. Now whenever we are going to do this kind of animation with the help of Illustrator and After Effects, make sure that your logo should be in black and white format, or it should consist at least two colors only, or one color only, but most of the time make sure that your logo in black and white format or in PNG format with black color. So that's why I chose this Apple logo, because this is PNG as well as it says backlink color. Now after that I'm going to select this logo, and over here you will get this option called image trace. So simply click on it and simply hit OK. Okay, then it will do some certain operations. Then after that you have to click on this expand. So now if you see, they have converted this entire logo into one shape layer. Now let's select this, right click, and we are going to select this ungroup, and we will select this one white solid background, and we will delete this. So now we have this and this shape on different layer. So let's select both of this, and I'm going to hit Control C. I'll go and create a new layer, and I'll press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. I'll double click on this bottom layer and I'm going to call it as fill. Okay, and I'll hide this layer. Then I'm going to select this uppermost portion. I'll hit Ctrl X. I'll create a new layer and I'll press Ctrl Shift V. I'm going to double click and let's call it as stroke. Similarly, double click and let's call it as stroke. Okay, why I'm calling it a stroke? Because I don't want any fill over here. So I'll select both of these layers, and over here in color option fill, I'm going to delete that fill, and in stroke I'm going to choose black color, and I'm going to add somewhere around 2 stroke only. Okay, so this is going to be my logo like this. Now I'm going to create certain animations in After Effects, so let's try to do that. Now let's go to the Adobe After Effects. I'm going to create a new composition. I'm going to call it as always main animation over here, just like we do. And width I'm going to choose 1920, height I'm going to choose 180, frame rate is 30, and duration is also 30 seconds, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Then we'll go to choose grid and guide option, and we'll choose title selection. Then I'm going to press Ctrl I, or you can simply double click on this portion. Let's select our Apple logo. I'll go to the import as, I'm going to choose composition, return layers and sizes, and simply hit import, and simply drag and drop over here. Now if you double click to open this, we are not gonna see anything. So let's hit Control K to open the project settings, and we are going to choose white color over here, and let's hit OK. Okay, like this. Now we have this fill as well as we have this stroke. Okay, so let's try to animate our stroke first. For that, what we need to do, I'm going to select this, right click, create shape from vector layer. So what will happen, we will get these two outlines. I'm going to delete this stroke illustration layers because we don't need that. Now we have these two strokes, and for the stroke width I'm going to choose 5 pixels, maybe like that. And let's try to animate this stroke with the help of trim path. So let's go over here, go to the add menu, and we are going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this value somewhere around like this. Okay, and let's change this offset value somewhere around over here like this. Okay, and if you change this end value somewhere, as you guys can see, we can get this kind of animation over here. Okay, so let's make this end value 100, and let's try to make this start value 10, and change this offset somewhere around over here like this. Okay, so let's make this proper -200. Okay, so start value is 10 and 100, end value and -200 offset. And if I make this start value somewhere around like this, I can animate that. So I'm going to create one keyframe at start. I'll go to around 3 seconds and I'm going to make this start value 0. So what will happen, I'm gonna get this kind of animation over here. Okay, so as you guys know, if I see my animation is starting from here, so let's log this layer just for now. I'm going to select my pen tool and I'm going to create one point over here, and by holding shift I'm going to create another point over here like this, and let's move this a little bit over here and press Ctrl Alt Home. Okay, let's try to bring properly. Okay, so it looks like they are connecting each other. So after that, let's select this and change the color of this one to yellow, so it would be easy for us to understand that this one is different. I'm going to go in add menu, trim path. I'll go to the trim path and let's make this end value, or let's say start value 100, create one keyframe. I'll go somewhere around 1 second and I'm going to make this value 0. Okay, so it looks like it's coming from here, and then this animation should start to run from here. So if you see, we are gonna get something like this, and as this animation is about to end, I'm going to create one keyframe at end of this one, and when this animation is gonna complete itself somewhere around 4 seconds, I'm going to make this end value 0. So now if you see this animation, we are gonna get this kind of look. Okay, so our this animation is ready. Now we need to create animation for this stroke over here as well, which is this one. So let's bring this at the top and let's hide this. Okay, so let's try to animate this. For animating this, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click, I'm going to create new, and I'm going to call it as one null object. I'll hit enter and I'll call it as rotation. Okay, I'm going to select this stroke and I'll press P for position. I'll create one keyframe. I'll go to around 4 seconds and I'm going to create another keyframe, and I'll go to the start and I'm going to move this from here to here. Then I'm going to select this stroke and I'm going to make it a parent with this rotation. Then I'm going to select this rotation. I'll press R. I'll create one keyframe. I'll go to around 4 seconds. I'm going to create another keyframe, and initially I'm going to rotate it somewhere around like this. So now if you see this animation, we will get something like this, and select those keyframe and hit F9. Similarly, select this, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, go over here and let's make this one complete rotation. So what will happen, along with this we are gonna get this rotation for this option as well. Then hit select both of them and hit U, select those keyframe and we will hit F9, and we will go to the graph editor. We will select this graph over here, and by holding shift I'm going to move this handle like this. So if you hit play, we are gonna get something like this. Okay, or you can simply keep it as it is as well, because that looks also a smooth animation. And if you want, you can select this, and obviously by holding alt you can change it somewhere around over here. Okay, so this stroke animation is ready. Now we need to create animation for this fill. So for that, what we can do, let's see. Over here, first of all, let's select all of these layers, and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C and I'm going to call it as stroke animation and hit OK. I'll go inside this, I'll select all of them and I'll enable the motion blur. So what will happen, along with this we will get a little bit of motion blur as well. Okay, so let's hide this, and now we can focus on this one. Initially I'm going to select this fill. I'll go to the effect and presets panel and I'm going to search for fill effect and double click to apply, and instead of red I'm going to choose grayish color over here like this. And now we need to create certain mask for it, so select rectangle tool. I'm going to delete this stroke, and for the fill I'm going to choose red color and I'm going to create one this kind of rectangle. Now let's select this rectangle, hit enter, and we are going to call it as mask. So this is going to be act like a mask. So simply bring this over here, select this fill, and if you guys know that with the help of F4 you can change this toggle operations and choose alpha mask. Then select this mask, press P for position. We will bring down initial position over here. We can create one keyframe. We can go to around 4 seconds over here and change this from here to here like this. Okay, then I can select this. I can go to the effect and presets panel, and I can search for one effect called wave warp and simply double click to apply this, which will create this waving animation. And I can increase the scale width somewhere around like this. Similarly, I'm going to apply one effect called turbulence displace. To apply that effect, we will get certain kind of height and depth in that wave animation. Okay, similarly I'm going to select both of them and I'm going to hit Ctrl D. I'm going to select this fill, and this time I'm going to choose black color and select both of them, and let's bring this a little bit upward over here. So we will get this two shades, and select this mask over here, and in wave direction you can change. Similarly, evolution you can change in this turbulence. So what will happen, that will that animation will look a little bit different over here. Or you can select this fill, you can hit Ctrl D, select both of them, and let's bring this a little bit over here. Select this fill, and instead of this grayish color I'm going to choose a little bit of this kind of color as well. Okay, so first animation should be this stroke animation, and then somewhere around at this point, maybe after the stroke animation is gonna complete, I want this animation should start to appear. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is for that. And now there should be certain kind of liquid should drop over here. So for that as well, you can create one pen tool. You can bring one line from here and one line over here, and you can delete the stroke. You can choose, first we need to select this color over here. Let's select this, press Ctrl Alt Home, press P, and let's bring this over here and change the color of this one to 15, or let's say 10. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, press P, and let's bring this over here. Hit Ctrl D, press P, and let's bring this over here like this. Okay, then we have to change the colors according to this colors. So go to the stroke, with the help of this pick up this color, hit OK, select this, go over here, with the help of this picker I'm going to pick up this black color. Okay, and now I need to create some animations over here. So let's select this, go to the add menu, we are going to choose trim path, go to the trim path, and let's make this end value. We will create one keyframe. We'll go to around 1 second, we'll make this 100. We'll go to around 2 seconds, we'll create another keyframe at start. We'll go to around 3 seconds and we'll make this value 100. So if you see, we are getting something like this. So let's go to around 10 seconds and let's move this over here. We are going to select this keyframe, and let's select those keyframe, and let's try to move this over here and bring this over here. So we'll get that quick animation. Or okay, and then you can select those. Okay, select those keyframe and we will hit F9. Okay, so if you see, we are getting this dropping animation. Then copy this trim path, hit Ctrl C, select all of them and hit Ctrl V. So we'll get something like this. Now let's zoom in a little bit, and initially this portion, which is this one, should be over here like this. And let's select our pen tool and make sure that it should touch the ground, and hit U, zoom in a little bit, and when this portion is going to start to appear, we need to make sure that it should properly come at this point, like at this point over here, like this. Okay, over here, and let's select those last keyframe. When this animation is gonna end, at this point it should stop. So let's move this over here. Okay, and let's make this fit, so it will look like this. Okay, like that. Same procedure for all of them. uh, you can hit U, you can start somewhere around at this point, select this, and you can select this. You can move them a little bit over here and make sure that this point should touch this edge. Okay, same procedure for this. Select this, move this over here, hit U, zoom in, select this, and let's move this over here like this and bring this downwards. Okay, and let's make this fit. Okay, now we need to adjust the position, so select this and bring this over here, select this, bring in middle of that, select this and bring in middle of that. So now if I see this animation, first I'll get this, it will take a little bit time to load, so let's make this third resolution and let's try to play. First I'll get this animation, then the stroke animations, and then I'll get this filling animations. Okay, over here, and press F4, select all of them and enable their motion blur. Then you can go to the main animation comp and you can see we'll get this animation, and make sure to press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and bring this downwards. Then as always, initially press S, let's make this 115, create one keyframe, go somewhere around 8 seconds, and let's make this 100 and hit N. So yep, this is how you can create this kind of animation.